Land more clean punches, but boxing is not about only clean punches. It's about pressure also, about how you impress judges, and you need to counting sometimes rounds, not punches. I just, to be honest, I don't like excuses, explanations. You know, my philosophy is to be perfect, to not answer on questions why you did this, why you did that, and have some excuses. I feel shame if I trying to explain you why why I didn't win this fight. Just I didn't win, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, His Excellency said wrong decision. We do a rematch. So that's what we know. He's a man of his word. We know he's supported Dmitry Bivol. We thank him so much, not just for the opportunities for Dmitry Bivol, but what he's given boxing tonight by making that fight. And there has to be a rematch because Artur Beterbiev, there's always going to be the controversy of that fight. You know, I'm sure there's some that found a Beterbiev victory, but everybody I know that knows boxing didn't tell me that at ringside.
People have to start talking about the judges, because I'm looking through Twitter. Most big press publications, a lot of the journalists are saying that they at least saw this fight a draw. And as soon as the journalists keep on talking about that, but keep on going about the fact of why that happened and why the judges did that, at least that's going to bring some exposure to the situation. Because
4 rounds to Dmitry Bivol. Come on.
Top ranks Carl Moretti was in, and he said it's okay to have close fights either way, but it wasn't a robbery. 7-5 the other way maybe, but Bivol hasn't been. He hasn't been here.
Carl Moretti. I'm not throwing Carl Moretti under a bus. He's my mate. He knew we won that fight. I think he had it 7-5 to us, and I'm not saying it's a robbery of a decision and he won it 9-3, but I don't see how you can give Artur Beterbiev 6 rounds in that fight.
But I thought that Bivol won it by a couple of rounds.
I think that's the general consensus online. I just spoke to him and he said he feels empty.
Yeah, I'm sure he's very disappointed. I think the judge who gave him 4 rounds out of those 12, I don't know what he was watching.
Hi folks, I don't usually pay to watch a fight, but when it's going to be a proper fight like 2 elite fighters and not cherry pick fights, I'll pay gladly to watch and put the sign on the door, do not disturb until it's all over. But if I know it's going to be a no contest fight, I don't even bother to watch the highlights. So this one I paid in advance and put the sign on the door and watched the whole fight. An undercard, and there was some surprise, especially Ben Whittaker, which was a suspect fight, and we'll do a video shortly. I believe Ben Whittaker should have lost that fight. So let's get back to Bivol versus Beterbiev. Was it a great fight or just a good one? Well, that all depends on what you expected. Beterbiev fans came in expecting another brutal knockout, hoping to see him maintain that perfect record. 21 wins, 21 knockouts. On the other side, Bivol fans were banking on his superior boxing skills to outpoint Beterbiev and prove that he's the more technical fighter. But neither scenario unfolded. Instead, what we got was a hard-fought tactical battle. And in the end, Beterbiev just nicked it on points. Bivol started strong, taking the first 2 rounds with his sharp boxing and quick footwork. But then, he seemed to give Beterbiev too much respect. That's where things started to shift. Beterbiev, the patient predator, kept chipping away, round after round, putting under pressure and forcing Bivol to back up. Bivol tried to fight the perfect fight. He knew he couldn't knock Beterbiev out, so he focused on outboxing him. But every time he threw a jab or combination, Beterbiev was right there in his face. If you've seen the fight, or if you haven't seen the fight, have a look at the fight. The cleverness, the genius of Beterbiev can't be underestimated. Every time Bivol moved into position to throw his big right hand, Beterbiev was already moving away from it, neutralizing the danger. It was like watching a chess match, with both men thinking 2 steps ahead. But then, After the fifth round, Bivol started to fade. The stamina issues became clear. His energy levels dropped and he slowed down. That's when Beterbiev really took over. You could see it. Beterbiev never let up on the pressure. And even though Bivol was still scoring points, Beterbiev kept finishing each round stronger. That left a big impression on the judges. It was like the writing was on the wall for Bivol after that fifth round. Every round he tried to fight back, but Beterbiev just kept grinding him down. If you look at the fight closely, you'll notice something interesting. Beterbiev was constantly aware of Bivol's right hand. He was always moving away from it, frustrating Bivol and taking away his best weapon. In my opinion, Beterbiev won, but it was a close fight, and Bivol deserves a rematch. He should be proud of himself. He fought well and is the first man to go the distance with Beterbiev, but let's be honest. Why did Bivol lose? His stamina let him down. After the fourth round, you could see his nerves getting to him, and he gave Beterbiev too much respect. And here is another thing. Beterbiev is 39 years old. At that age, he knew he had to pace himself. You could see he was holding back some of those devastating shots to make sure he didn't gas out late in the fight. If this wasn't an undisputed title fight, we might have seen a stoppage. Bivol will have been knocked out, no question. Plus, let's not forget about the knee injury Beterbiev was dealing with. That definitely played a part. Oh, another thing. As expected, here comes Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren crying robbery. Classic Eddie Hearn and Frank. That Bivol should have won. Anyway, what do you think, folks? Leave any comments below. See you next time.